The safety recall detailed in this videotape involves 1988 through 1992 model year Eagle Premiers and 1990 through 1992 model year Dodge Monaco vehicles. On these vehicles, the potential for a passenger compartment heater core failure exists. To resolve this condition, a temperature-controlled heater core bypass valve must be installed, and a splash shield must also be installed. For repair of these vehicles, a quantity of recall parts packages, part number C3906070, will be distributed initially and billed to all dealers. Before beginning the service procedure, it is important to note that the installation of the heater core bypass valve will vary slightly depending on the cooling system configuration in different model years, and whether the vehicle is equipped with a 6-cylinder or 4-cylinder engine. For clarity, procedural variations will be shown in the sequence in which they would occur and noted by model year and engine configuration. The first steps in this procedure apply to all involved vehicles. To begin the service procedure, ensure the ignition key is in the off position and disconnect the negative battery cable. To ensure customer satisfaction, remember to record the owner's radio settings before disconnecting the battery and to reset the memory after completing the service procedure. Next, slowly remove the coolant recovery bottle pressure cap to relieve the system pressure. For 1988 Eagle Premiers, inspect the coolant bottle pressure cap to ensure it is a high dome black cap with an internal stainless steel insert. If the vehicle is not equipped with this type of cap, replace the cap per the previous recall 441 instruction with the proper high dome coolant bottle pressure cap, part number 4546111. The procedures shown in the next part of this videotape will demonstrate the installation of the heater core bypass valve on vehicles equipped with a 3-liter engine, and will also explain any model year variations of the procedure. For these vehicles, drain approximately 1/2 gallon of engine coolant from the radiator and save the coolant for later reuse. The drain cock is located on the lower right corner on the rear of the radiator. After draining the coolant, disconnect the aerator hose from the coolant recovery bottle. Next, remove the hose clamps and disconnect the 2 heater core hoses from the heater core. Be careful not to break the heater core nipples. Now, cut the left heater hose, located toward the driver's side of the vehicle, 2 3/4 inches from the heater core end, and discard the cut-off piece. You should note that this is the hose that was not connected to the coolant recovery bottle. Next, for 1988 through early 1991 vehicles, cut the right, passenger side, heater hose 2 inches up from the preformed T or steel crimp as shown here. For 1991 1/4 through 1992 vehicles, this hose must be cut as close to the bottom of the crimp or collet as possible. Next, install the 2 3/4 inch hoses from the parts package on the heater core nipples with 2 of the provided medium-sized hose clamps. For 1988 and 1989 vehicles only, disconnect the support clip from the fuel injection wiring harness convolute and remove the clip. Then use the provided tie strap to secure the wiring harness near the bulkhead connector to provide clearance for the bypass valve as shown here. Now, install the bypass valve from the parts package to the new hoses from the heater core with 2 of the provided medium-sized hose clamps. For 1988 through early 1991 vehicles, connect the end plastic nipple of the bypass valve to the passenger side heater core hose and connect the other plastic nipple to the driver side heater core hose. When correctly installed, the vacuum motor will be oriented up as shown here. For 1991 1/4 through 1992 vehicles, connect the end plastic nipple of the bypass valve to the driver's side heater core hose and the other plastic nipple to the passenger side heater core hose. On these vehicles, the vacuum motor will be oriented down when the bypass valve is properly installed, as seen in this example. With the bypass valve installed to the heater core, next attach the 2 1/4 inch hose from the parts package to the end of the supplied 90-degree elbow closest to the aerator nipple, as shown here. Now, install the other end of the elbow to the heater hose that was originally connected to the coolant recovery bottle aerator hose. This is also the heater hose that was originally connected to the passenger side of the heater core. The elbow should be installed so that the small aerator nipple points upward. For 1988 through early 1991 vehicles, connect the 2 1/4 inch hose from the elbow to the passenger side plastic nipple on the bypass valve, as seen here. When installing the elbow assembly to the bypass valve, be sure to position the hose clamps so they do not interfere with any linkage. For 1991 1/4 through 1992 vehicles, connect the elbow assembly to the brass-colored nipple on the bypass valve. Next, install the heater hose that was originally connected to the driver's side of the heater core to the remaining nipple on the bypass valve. After installing the heater hoses to the bypass valve, connect the straight, preformed end of the supplied aerator hose to the coolant recovery bottle, and the other end of the hose to the small nipple on the heater tube elbow. For a proper fit on 1991 1/4 through 1992 vehicles, you will have to cut approximately 3 inches off the coolant recovery bottle end of the aerator hose. Next, install the supplied standoff clip to separate the heater hoses. The next segment of this videotape will demonstrate the proper procedure for installing the bypass valve on one of the few vehicles equipped with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. After removing the coolant bottle pressure cap on these vehicles, clamp off the heater hoses between the engine and the heater core using 4 clamps, as shown here. Then measure 6 inches from the heater core end and mark the hoses. With the hoses clamped, cut both heater hoses 6 inches from the heater core end. Next, cut an additional 1 inch from the engine side of the heater core hose that was routed to the driver's side of the heater core. Now, install the bypass valve to the engine side of the heater hoses by connecting the brass valve nipple to the driver's side heater hose and the plastic nipple of the valve to the passenger side heater hose. Use 2 of the supplied medium clamps to secure the hoses. Next, install the valve to the heater core by connecting the end plastic nipple of the valve to the passenger side of the heater core and the other plastic nipple of the valve to the driver's side of the heater core. Again, use the new supplied clamps to secure the hoses to the valve. After installing the bypass valve, remove the clamps from the heater hoses. When the valve is properly installed, the vacuum motor will be oriented in the up position, as shown here. The procedures demonstrated in the next part of this videotape will apply to all involved vehicles. After properly installing the bypass valve, locate the nylon vacuum line directly above the bypass valve that connects the manifold vacuum source to the vacuum canister. Now, route the vacuum tee from the bypass valve and align it with the vacuum line so it is not kinked and does not interfere with any linkage. At the best alignment point, cut a 1-inch section from the vacuum line. Then connect the vacuum tee between the cut ends. You should note that there may be 2 vacuum lines in this area. Be sure you do not cut the hose from the vacuum canister to the speed control servo. The final portion of this videotape will demonstrate the proper procedure for installing the splash shield on all involved vehicles. To install the splash shield, First, remove the driver's side air conditioning duct. Next, loosen the right steering column attaching bolt, but do not remove it. For visual access, the column boot has been removed. Now, slide the bolt notch of the splash shield under the head of the steering column attaching bolt and position the leading edge of the shield as far forward as possible and above the heater box flange as shown here. It is very important that this shield is positioned correctly. With the shield properly positioned, install the shield support clip on the right flange of the brake pedal support so the clip holds the shield in place at the triangular tang on the shield. Next, tighten the steering column attaching bolt to 33 foot-pounds or 45 Newton meters. Now, verify that the shield does not interfere with the accelerator pedal linkage, and then reinstall the air conditioning duct. To complete this service procedure, reconnect the negative battery cable. Then refill and bleed the cooling system by following the procedures detailed in the Safety Recall 607 notification letter. When bleeding the system, be sure to install a drain hose in order to route the coolant away from the accessory drive belt, pulleys, and electric cooling fan. The procedures detailed in the recall notification letter should be carefully followed when bleeding air from the cooling system to ensure proper operation. After refilling, check the system for leaks and verify that the heater is operating properly. To ensure customer satisfaction, dealers are urged to complete this service promptly and courteously on all involved customer vehicles. To comply with federal law, this recall service must also be performed on any new or used vehicles in dealer inventory before retail delivery. For more information regarding this service procedure, additional parts orders, and claim reporting procedures, refer to the Dealer Safety Recall Notification Letter number 607.